Hey there, how are you doing? Now you might be wondering why I made this video. This has nothing to do with gaming like my old videos, and to be honest with you, I have no idea either. I was stuck on what to upload, but still, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you do decide to stay and watch the whole thing, I really appreciate it and I hope you enjoy the video. I guess I just want to make this video a landmark and talk about my plans for 2025 and the future. This video was supposed to be uploaded on the 1st of January, but I didn't know if I want to release it or not. Now, I'm not gonna say stuff like buying a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or a Rolex for my plans. I honestly don't see the appeal either way. I was happy when I bought my first car, which is second-handed, that had no air conditioning back then, so I can drive to work. But anyways, this video is not really about owning any luxury goods, but more so about personal growth and skills. Okay, so I'll start with the first one. Health, exercise, cooking, and an unhealthy eating lifestyle. It's a bit long, but I mentioned this first because it's technically the most important. A lot of people are taking their youth for granted, including myself. I came across an article a few days ago when I was scrolling on social media. There was an article talking about people that eat fast food frequently, drink a lot, and do not exercise won't see the effect now, but it will hit them like a truck 15 or 20 years later. Honestly, let alone the next 5 years, I think I'm starting to feel it already. A few days ago, I ordered Domino's and some fried chicken tenders for lunch, but after a while, my chest started to hurt. I felt like I was going to throw up and my heart was beating faster than normal. Granted that day I also didn't have enough sleep, which didn't help either, but that brings me to the other important part, which is learning how to cook and start exercising. I suck at cooking. To put it bluntly, I'm just making shit edible rather than actually cooking and seasoning them properly. I season everything with salt and Cajun, then put it on the pan and call it a day. There are many days that I was too lazy to cook, which made me order delivery, often being fast food a lot more frequently. I'm talking about ordering delivery 5 to 6 times a week. That's unhealthy food and a lot of money spent. And the most exercise I've done is walking to school. But even that is only like a 10 minutes walk, so it can't even be considered warming up. There's also the fixing my sleep schedule, getting at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep. My sleep schedule might as well not even exist at this point. Sometimes I sleep at 5 a.m., sometimes 7 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., so it's never consistent. For the ones watching this video, don't do that. Seriously, don't. You're more likely to have heart problems and dementia if you don't get enough sleep. Your friends might make fun of you for sleeping early, like sleep is for the weak or whatever. Let them say it, your health is a lot more important. So that's the number one thing for me to fix. Moving on to the next one. Art, animation, and 3D. Oh boy, okay, where do I start? Let's just say I want to learn art and how to draw. The whole case with the AI art is another thing, and it doesn't really discourage me from pursuing art at all. In fact, I actually wanted to draw my own thumbnails when I first created this channel. I suck at making thumbnails for my YouTube channel. Throughout pretty much my entire life, I've been consuming media, mainly anime, manga, and games, the typical. Of course, generally everyone loves art and animation, but there's some people that held them to a higher degree than others, so much so that they themselves became artists. Some of these works make me so mesmerized that I can't stop rewatching them over and over again. To which I can't lie, somewhere deep in my heart, I would hold a bit of envy and jealousy of these people. But then again, there's my art and sketches.
Oh my god! What is that?
Yeah, how much these artists and creators have sacrificed and how much effort and time they have spent to master the craft made my envy irrelevant. If you're asking me who are my main inspirations, then, well, that's going to be another video. Even if I did make the video, there's going to be more new artists that I will discover in the future, so that video is never going to be made. I know Twitter is not a good place, or X, whatever name you want to call it, but you can find a lot of great artists on that platform. I enjoy a lot of the works that are put out there. I think for every creator's work, there's something you can learn, enjoy, and appreciate. But of course, that's just my personal opinion. After mastering drawing to a certain level, taking stuff into the next step is my goal, which is 2D and 3D animation. I did dabble a bit into Blender, and that thing was not easy at all, seriously. I found this speedrun video and I was so amazed. And can you believe this animation was done by one person alone? Simply immaculate and impressive. But moving on to the next one, which is music production and coding. Music is pretty much the same as the art that I mentioned. It's another thing that's universally loved but also one of the hardest skills to master. Vocaloid and synthesizers can still be considered kind of niche, but I've always enjoyed Vocaloid producers and how far they can use the software to its limit. Of course, I'm also considering learning an instrument. Since Synth V is cheaper than Vocaloid, this might be a good opportunity. These theater songs are popping off these days. I think the most basic thing everyone starts with is of course learning about music theory. While gaming YouTubers are very popular and entertaining to watch, I really haven't seen a lot of them and don't know much about them. I often find myself watching and listening to an artist's song and music video or an animator and appreciating the video a lot more. Coding is self-explanatory. I love video games since childhood, especially indie games, and would love to make one myself. Playing games is fun, but I'm also very interested in the behind scenes of games as well as the hidden secrets in the games. Sakurai's YouTube channel was great. I watched almost all of his videos and took notes. And then there's also this one channel I rewatch multiple times because of how interesting the videos are. I have a lot of respect for developers such as Toby Fox and Eric Barone. Like, this man took almost 5 years and made a game all alone by himself and kept making updates to the game. How incredible is that? For the programming language, learning C# is the first one. After that is C++ and Python for me. It's a bit unrelated, but I also think singing, dancing, and voice acting can also be fun to learn, but I'm a bit shy and I don't really like my voice, so those are just skills that are worth considering but not priorities. Maybe I'll learn them just for hobbies. Moving on to the next one, photography and editing. Some people say live the moment, but for me, capturing a specific scene or moment alone conveys a lot more emotion and holds a lot of sentiment and memories. I love taking pictures but not having my pictures taken, since I don't like standing out with my face. Some of these shots that I found look incredible and I saved them to a folder where I look at them from time to time. Videography and cinematography are also very beautiful and worth considering. And lastly, for editing as well, I can't edit my videos efficiently. This 6 minutes video took me 14 hours to edit. Despite having DaVinci Resolve for about 2 years now, I haven't gone through a full course, so there's still a lot of stuff I don't know about. So that's something I want to improve on to up my videos quality. Moving on to the next one. Language and the word. I'll be real with you, I don't learn languages for the same reasons that a polyglot does. It's mainly because it makes my life easier and that it's a very useful skill. Naturally, I'm not going to learn every language there is and won't be a professional translator since that's too much effort and some languages just don't interest me. I think the main two languages that I want to learn right now are Japanese and Korean. It's really nothing grandiose for me wanting to learn Japanese. If I give you a simple reason, it's probably going to be the typical reason, like I want to watch anime without subtitles. But I'm just joking. But I think the main reason is there's a lot of Japanese games that never got a global release as well as lost media. So I'm very interested in those games and the lost media. I would love to make videos based off those games in English. However, improving my Dutch is still the most important thing right now since I moved here. Helaas kan ik nog niet zo goed spreken, maar toch wel beter dan niks. Spanish is also very useful, but I suck with it, so it's just an afterthought right now. And what I mean by the word is that of me being more aware of what's going on around the world. I'm an idiot that would prefer to play games rather than watch the news, and that's not a good thing at all. Of course, with the rising new technologies and population growth, I feel like it can't be helped to an extent. Wait, I think I'm going a bit off topic. Regardless, I would like to be more aware of what's happening around the world and keep up with some of the news. Another thing unrelated to the news would be reading more books. I'm not referring to manga and webtoons since I read that almost every day already. Some people might say, isn't that the same as just consuming media? Well, probably yes, but I think with books and classic literature, they use more complex words and have a different narrative than manga, since there's no illustrations, and that's what makes it exciting and interesting in a different sense. Lastly, to conclude, naturally, everything that I mentioned is only achievable by being proactive and time management. If I'm going to rot and being lazy all day long, then obviously nothing will be achieved. That's common sense. You might be saying, aren't the things that I mentioned too much to learn? There's a lot of stuff. Yes, it's a lot, but I want to do it all even if it takes me a very long time to do it. Jack of all trades, master of none? Why not master of all? Life is never easy, but you personally have the option to make it even harder or easier, even by 1%. Finally, have fun while learning. At the end of the day, what's the point of learning all this stuff if you don't enjoy it? But yeah, I think that's most of my plans for 2025 and beyond in the future. I might have missed a few, but that generally covers it. I guess another thing will be making a new channel under a different name, mainly for art and music, since this channel is for gaming in general. There's also how to make a website, UX design, making merch, personal mascot, plushies, t-shirts design, my personal logo, crocheting, making clothes, learning how to make clothes. I would also like to get into gardening, but honestly, this video has gone on long enough, so I stop. Well, if you watched until the end of this video, then thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a nice day or nice night depending on where you are. And I'm praying for your success if you also have any plans you want to achieve for this year or in the future. Take care and good luck.